gets a little more complicated on example 4. So what they want you to do now is find out the formula given two different graphs. So the black line here shows the original function, and this purple line shows what happened to it. So that's the image function, and we have to figure out what we did to it to make it do that. What we have to recognize is the pattern. Y equals f of x becomes y equals a times f of b times x. So what we're really looking for is what are the values for a and what are the values for b. You might remember that we can write a new set of points as x over b and a times y. The points that we can see on the black line are, I've listed a few of them here, -3 and 0 here, which has stretched over to -12 and 0. It's just kind of looking at the points, how they correspond to the shape of the graph. Here we've got a point at the very top of the bump, which means that it's got to be at the top of the bump here. And so this point, that would be -2 and 4, has turned into -8 and 12. So that's a really clear point. We can hope that we've got this one correct, being that the 0, 0 point in the middle tells us that we didn't have any translations. So there was no moving up or down, no moving side to side, because otherwise that point wouldn't be the same. But a really, really clear point to use would be the one where they're at the top of the bump, because that's really obviously the same point, no matter what you did to the graph. So we're going to take these guys and work with them. So -2 used to be x, I'll write x, used to be -2, and then it became -8. X over b equals the new point. So that means that -2 over b equals -8. So we have to ask ourselves, -2 divided by what number gives us -8? So the easiest way to actually solve that, and don't say 4, is to reverse these, because this is one of those trade triangle relationships, right? -2 is on the top, b and -8 are on the bottom. So if I want to solve for b, I have to go -2 divided by -8. So x, b equals -2 divided by -8. Well, -2 divided by a negative divided by a negative is a positive, 2 divided by 8 is 1/4. So b must be 1/4. So I can put in my formula over there, y equals a, I don't know what that is yet, but I just figured out that 1/4 is the b. That's where that goes. So we're partway there already. Now I have to do a similar kind of thing for y. If I look at these numbers, for y, 4 has become 12, right? 4 has become 12. And the pattern is ay gets me the new value. So a times y equals the new value, which is 12. So I'll fill in my actual value, a times 4 equals 12. And if I'm multiplying on this side, I divide on that side, or you could set it up like that. So 12 divided by 4 gives me a equals, 3. And I can look at these other ones and go, okay, if I went 3 times 4, would I get 12? 3 times 0, 0. 3 times 4, there's the 12. So you're looking at it, checking out the points and making sure that they work. Could have done that there as well. So basically is the same relationship happening. -2 became -8, -3 became -12. Yeah, you're dividing by 1/4, which is multiplying by 4. So I take my a equals 3 value and I plug it in over here. So now I have the whole thing, y equals 3f times 1/4 x. that's my function. I figured it out, the problem is solved, this became that, and there's your info. It's kind of a lot, but just take one point that you know is corresponding to the original graph. So we chose these 2 points because we were sure that they were the same. Don't try using one with zeros in it because that's not going to help you. And just work through this pattern and figure out what had to have happened to the original point in order for it to become what it is now.